that if you were...
All right, hold it there a minute.
Hold it. If you bought a Land Rover, you could have been in the... Right. This is a Toyota Land Rover. You can see. I'm going to hand this over to Jim because we don't like talking.
Okay. Good. Got a... We'll tell you a little bit about it.
This is a local store the Rovers Ford is going to pick up in America. This one had a 2.5 petrol carbureted engine. And it wasn't used in the company. It is going to go back to the back and the roll on the car and stop it. And that's a little black and the one more out and then there.
Thank you very much. First Toyota we've had in the Land Rover section, so yeah, very great. Good. Good. Next unusual one we've got is a UNM, made in Portugal. The owner says a little bit later. We'll get to that first. We'll go in that first. Early 70s one-owned station wagon, ex-military. It's been registered to look after its mate. This is when it's in the military. Powered now by originally 3.5 V8, now powered by a TDI 200. Land Rover Series 1 88-inch. It's been in the area for a long time. Powered by a Peugeot 1.9 XUD diesel engine. It was bought with a Daihatsu non-turbo diesel engine in Coleford. It's been on the road doing the range for a few years now. And it makes quite a lot of smoke. 1960 Land Rover Series 2, it's Graham Husband from Cinderford. It's a 200 TDI engine now powering it. It's rebuilt about 5 years ago. First time at the show, this one. This show, yeah, first time at the show. And it's 2.25 diesel, 1984, multicolour, and it's very slow. Thank you very much. W plate Series 3, driven up from Southampton this morning, yep, 115 miles, no problem, and you've owned it for 17 years, marvellous. Thank you. Right, another regular at the show, HJX832, Colin and Andrew Graham. Colin has owned it since 1960, one of the oldest owned Land Rovers about, I think. 80-inch with 1600, 2 litre now. It was originally a 1600 petrol in that over exhaust, 1600 petrol engine in the factory. Same type of engine but 2 litre. It's been all over the world pretty well, used for all sorts of things, 400,000 miles, and is it been done? Restored in about 1974, been regular at the show again, both Colin and Graham's in front, and this one were on the cover of the show programme last year. 1949, 1600 engine still. Originally bought by a farmer in Upton Bishop, Herefordshire, and in very good condition still. Right, this is one of our family's ones, BRC 136Y. It was bought by my great uncle in 1982, new, from Wadham Kennin up in Derby. It's on the original chassis, it's quite patched up, original paintwork. It's kept in a barn. It was kept in a slightly too small barn once, which is why it's got a nasty dent in the back left corner of the roof. Other than the wheels and tyres, it's all original. It drives quite nicely. It's quite low mileage. I don't know what it's got to now. It's hit 65,000 miles this year because it's been used every day for a little bit. But petrol engine, was used every day. It's second vehicle now, third or fourth vehicle now. Fairly original. Yeah, all standard.
Drinking front national, doing a quarter petrol. Just recently rebuilt the gearbox and still going strong. Yeah.
Excellent, thanks, Stuart. Right, nice one now from Herefordshire, fitted with a V8 in 1980, this one, so a very old conversion. It's well, let me tell us a bit about it.
Converted in 1980, I bought it about 12 years ago. It spent all its life in Shropshire, registered in Worcester. Yeah, that's about it really.
Look, very nice bit of kit, thank you. Sitting on 1 ton wheel rims as well, very much like the standard wheels, but slightly more offset, slightly wider wheel. Originally used on some of the heavy duty 1 ton spec long wheelbase Land Rovers, but quite a popular retrofit for short wheelbases. Right.
Put together in 2014 and been on the road since, done about 5,000 miles since then.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Right, Austin Gypsy now, only one at the show this year. Interesting history to this vehicle with the recovery crane in the back. Would you like to tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, it belongs to a garage down in Bristol. We had it bought from you. And I originally kept it for about 30 or 40 years. And I accidentally come spot on it.
Excellent. So, was it blue originally? No, so it's been repainted a few times. There's a Harvey Frost crane in the back. Yeah, excellent. And this is the one with the beam axles rather than the Rotoflex suspension. Excellent. And what model of Gypsy is this one?
Mark IV. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. And we've got Brian Morgan's Series 2, a very early one. What year is it, Brian?
58.
1958, so first year of Series 2 production. It's fitted with the 2.25 petrol. Yeah, was it that originally?
Well, that is 38 years.
So another one that's obviously not been that bad. You've stuck with it. Right, Sam Jones is 101 now. Bought it with a TDI in. Originally would have been a V8 petrol. Sam has a problem with petrol engines. It's now fitted with a Mazda Perkins turbo diesel engine, which makes a diesel noise. Anything else about it, Sam?
Not really. No.
Power steering conversion from a mixture of bits, but yeah, it's got power steering now. It was bought as a truck cab type of thing, and it's looking a lot smarter now with its tilt as it would have been originally. Thanks, Sam. Adams Series 2A now, ex-military, built in about what year was this one? 1961, so registered slightly later as it's a way military one. Fitted with a 300 TDI, 200 TDI at the moment, on a, what gearbox has it got? 5-speed gearbox, modified, used regularly, whiskey fuel only according to the fuel cap, and yeah, performs very well. Paul Sterry coming up next with a TD590. Got lots of modifications on it, lots of bits bolted on. Anything else you need to tell us about it, Paul? Chipped and tarted up. You can tell he's not a car salesman. She got the next engine after the TD5 was the Puma engine, Ford Transit lump, otherwise known as 2.4 in this one. Yeah. What's been done to it otherwise?
Quantum tuned, lifted, on it.
Looks very shiny, right? Thank you. So that's to the end of Defender production. It went to the 2.2 litre engine, but basically the same to look at under the bonnet. Now we've got a proper engine, Rover V8, and is lightweight. Would have been a 2 1/4 petrol originally in military service, and quite a typical sort of thing from sort of the 1980s when these were coming out, available quite cheaply, ex-military, and people would put the civilian hard tops on them, side windows and V8 engines. Very capable trials vehicle, much better on the road, and very fashionable thing at the time. Mostly now going more back standard and military, but it's nice to see something that's how people built them a few years ago. So, thank you, Annie. Sounds marvellous. Now, Mark William in the 90 with a 200 TDI, used for off-roading, goes all about the place. Been quite reliable, isn't it, Mark, really? Yeah, very reliable. Got some good tyres on it. Probably one of the best vehicles if you're going to buy something to go off-roading, straight out the factory. You can't go far wrong with a 90 with some decent tyres on it. You'll go most places, wouldn't it? So, right, thank you, Mark. Got a very slightly getting a bit more flexible now, the Land Rover Discovery, 200 TDI. This one's quite unusual, being supplied new with an automatic gearbox. The V8's quite common with an automatic. But what's the story with this one, Mike?
I just fell in love with it. Because I'm lazy and I don't like changing gear.
Where did it come from?
It came from somebody that was buying a car from where I work, and the boss didn't offer enough money for it, so I did.
And you took it away. It was a very smart example. It's nice, typical. A lot of them had messed about, but now turned into off-road. It's got the Farmland designed sonar blue, I think, the interior, which quite radical at the time. But yeah, it looks very smart. They usually hit about a bit now, but very nice condition. Actually, even had a polish before it came to show. Oh, it's got Jamie Gomery is 1958 again, so 258 2s here. Very nice original looking condition. Bought a few years ago, fitted with a Perkins, we think 4203. It's owned locally before that, used as an agricultural service vehicle type of thing. It's had some work on the chassis to keep it on the road. The hardtop is actually shortened from a long wheelbase. Looks as if it's done a tidy job on it. If you look closely, it has been modified at the back, and it's got here today. So marvellous, thank you. We've got Robert Hayes 86-inch Series 1, 1955. It was rebuilt and came to its first beach house show last year, was it? The last one. It's manufactured 16th May 55. Supplied to Ashchurch, military vehicle. It had a registration 95 BP23. Demobbed in 1967. Unfortunately, not been able to find out the military history, but it's been owned by Robert and been slowly rebuilt over the last few years to how it looks today. Thank you, Robert. And we've got a 1964, I guess 65, Series 2A. Local vehicle originally on a Herefordshire plate, is it, this one? No, Gloucestershire plate, DF. Tell us a bit about it.
So she was grey originally, and a real dog when she sort of came to me. So she was completely stripped down, totally rebuilt, gearbox, re-engineered, engine re-skimmed, new chassis, new electrics, and she's just a great drive, really. Fun vehicle.
Brilliant, thank you very much. It's smart. And we've got Dean Garland with his very modified lightweight, sort of going a bit more extreme than the other modified lightweight we saw, on a coil spring chassis, again common modification a few years ago. The advent of cheaper coil sprung models has killed off hybrids a bit, but it's nice to see one. Plenty of checker plate. It's a functional vehicle. What does it get used for now, Dean? Yeah. Off-roading, general work, towing a trailer today. Capable, yeah, and it was had a 19J turbo diesel engine fitted when he bought it, and it's now got a 200 TDI fitted. Big improvement, I expect. Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Dean.
How long we... Mr. Allen. Oh, we've got a microphone there. All right, lovely job.
The
the first vehicle in with the ring is the Danger 1915, which would be an ex-war department. It about a checkered license vehicle. It was once converted to a bus, and then returned back to a truck. And at one point, it was actually owned by the famous Corona people down in Cardiff. It's got a rare sliding sleeve night engine in a 4-cylinder night, and obviously hand start on the front bar. The weight is 3 ton empty, and it's got a cone clutch, which is very difficult to control in traffic, especially in this modern days when everybody cycles and everything wants to go by you. The young lady is sat in there, it's actually her 12th birthday today. Right, the next one coming up is Leyland FG. This actually replaced the FF in the Leyland. This would have been made in Adderley Park in Birmingham. They come in many disguises, these with different engines. They have the petrol engine, the 4-cylinder and 6, the same with the diesel. Here's Nigel in his Forest. This is another FG. They were designed so the cab was easy to get in and out of. They called it the fronty bed cab. But if anyone's ever tried to get in and out of one, I can never understand how it works. The windows in the side, in the front panel, that was to ease the parking and looking for pedestrians and young children on delivery duty. Thank you very much, guys. There's a straight 6 packs in that one. It's not very economical, actually. So here's another rare one. This is a cover. It would have been made in Luton. 25 underweight cover. And the name you see on it was the actual owner of the vehicle, W. Cowell. And that's how we got to see him in the word it's because. The one behind that is a Canadian Chevrolet. This is a joint venture between Chevrolet made in Canada. They were used here a lot by the British Army, and they saw a lot of service in North Africa. That was the mainstay when they were fighting role in North Africa. The next one behind that is a Wrecker, which is an S21 cab, which was classed as a Mickey Mouse cab. If you have a look at the front end, you can see why. A lot of vehicles, this would have been used as a cement mixer, and sometimes when they come to the end of life, they were converted actually to recovery vehicles. Here's a nice Chevy truck here now, and Jim actually uses this every day of the week. It's a tribute to him, how it looks and how it's turned out. Obviously American left-hand drive. The next one come in is an FL7. F for forward control, L for low entry. And this was, when this come in, it really not the British truck. If you would have drove a B series all day long or a construction, you got into this, you would never ever want to get into one of them again. They reckon the cab suspension was that good on that, there was no need for an air seat. Here's the B series. It's going to be one of the first cabs that the ERF produced with a tilt cab. This is going to be one of the best B series on the circuit. If anybody wants to look at that, what a marvelous bit of kit. ERF probably standing for Edwin Richard Bolt. Here's Adrian now with his DMC, obviously American, the Detroit engine in it. This would have been used by the American Air Force in this country, taking supplies and munitions and everything between their bases in this country. If Adrian gives out a quick grip, you'll hear what the 2-stroke is in there. So he's got a Detroit 2-stroke in there, as you can tell. Here's Dougie with his ET6, ET4, obviously because ET6 because ET standing for English truck. That would have been made in Dagenham. They were multi-purpose truck. They were used for a lot in the civil defence. This is a fair truck now. This is so say an S20 chassis with an S26 cab. The reason being that the S20 obviously it was either been involved in an accident or something like that, it would have been recapped. The S20 would have been a steel cab. That is obviously a fibre glass cab. It's got a strange engine in there. There's not a lot of used Gardners in Rovers, and I've actually got the Leyland 680. Here's Jason now. There's a 1932 Ford. He's got a lot of old stuff on Jason. and that's how he likes to bring them to the shows. He throws them everywhere. He doesn't put them on a low loader or a dirt trailer or nothing like that. Tribute to Jason, that. Here's John Wheeler with his Spanish Dodge, a 300 series. So they've actually got two in this guy, one being a 6-meter and one being a tractor unit. They were actually built in Spain and imported into England. They were a good truck. A lot of people that had them loved them, but they never really caught on in this country. And the mainstay with them, they were good on fuel. They were really economy fuel trucks, but they did not seem to take on in this country. They were actually owned by Chrysler, but bad start. Here's Dean in his transit. This was actually used by a local chap in Park End. And Dean purchased it off him, and it needed a lot of work on it, but obviously Dean uses this now as his work vehicle as well. A lot of these actually rotted out, but he kept it going. It would have a Pinto engine in there. Here's Gary with his ERF. Edwin Richard Cole again. I'll recap. He was say 8 years, and we got this argument many times, obviously with the Cummins engine in. ERF used a lot of varieties of engines, Cummins, Rolls-Royce, and Gardner. Here's them, hang on, they're coming around again. This is the Bellwood vehicle, the little bomber. So, here's Martin turning around with his ERF C-Series. ERF made all their vehicles in units or older, apart from the D, because they could never make an ERF D-Series, because it was in conflict with the D-Series Ford. So they went A, B, C, D. And it says, here's Martin with his Atkinson. Atkinson, they're made in Oldham. Certainly the Martin did all the paint and all the cab work on it, all that himself. And if you ever get a chance to shut this cab door on an Atkinson, it's just the same as shutting a train door on a 4-man carriage. There's another borderer there coming behind, exactly the same. Cummins engine, made up in Oldham there. The only thing with these vehicles, if you didn't have a trailer on what we call bobtail, you could get shook about in the seat. Didn't do them a lot of good, actually. You could take them apart. Now this is going to be one of the best trucks on the vintage scene, restoration scene. I would hate to think how much time went into doing that. Talking to the guys this morning, they did all the work on that themselves. It's an ex-Bedminster truck, and it was in real rough condition. And they did all the work on there, obviously apart from the painting. And if you ever get any trouble with your fuel injection system, they're the guys to talk to. They're based in Bristol, DTM. But what a lovely truck that is, being an interstate. The interstate was when they put the higher roof cap, which is a fiberglass dome, to make it higher up so you could stand up and change. Here's Marvin's into FD, again, a little portion in the petrol in that one. They were both, you could get the FD, either back to Austin or Warren. The only difference is the grill. But in 1968, they amalgamated to British Motor Corporation, which was FVVMC. Here's Steve with his 8-meter drop vehicle. These will go anywhere. If you want an off-road vehicle, this is the one you need. These saw a lot of action in the pool. Obviously, it's got a demountable crane on the back of there, so they can pick up demountable flat engines, so they can put anything on. From vehicles to ammunition to absolutely anything. They were indestructible, they were, but sometimes if they got shot up and what have you, they were. Here's Steve now in his holding. That's what we like to see, what we can say, that's in his working clothes. You can see by looking at that, that's done a day's work. Again, Cummins power, tank axle, this axle on the back. If you have a look at the dual tank and all that, the dent is in there from being worked hard. He would have been on timber haulage, and there's nothing more strength than timber haulage. Imagine being in the wood with that. We're starting up our road. Here's an FIH12. F for forward control, H for ICAP. This is the ones that really, when the Swedes come over, they really took our British engineering away. It's a tragedy really, but Super Train people going for that. Going back to that black road train you see come round. The reason they finished with the road trains because they were amalgamated with DAF. DAF in Leyland were amalgamated, and DAF had their own cab which was better ride, better bunk space and all that. So basically when DAF took over, that was the end of the road train. years already and was parked in the yard at Nash Morgan, the famous bodybuilders, for a long time. So a tribute to Malvin. He drives that everywhere. He's done door 16 for many, many years, towing a caravan as well. Wherever he goes, he always drives that. This is what the boycott bars are in, which the 100 brake horsepower. We have this one would have the full Coleford gearbox in it, and it's going to stick on the back end for the overdrive. Nice to see the tractor on the back. Obviously that thing's the bounce out of it. You look on it, the wheels is in front of you. Most of the vehicles now are forward control. Very rare to see them like ours now with the bonnet on. There was a T-bonnet scanning and stuff like that, but very, very good. Vehicle coming around now is a very rare vehicle. It's a little Dennis. It's got a P430 engine in it. This vehicle was actually stood for a long time in Dave Reed among the FE in his father's yard for a long time. And it had a fuel tank on it, a diesel fuel tank. And when this guy bought it, it actually had a tree growing up through it. And that's how that vehicle would have been. It's a real old vehicle, and that has actually got a three-way tipper. So that would tip either up to the back, to the left-hand side, or the right-hand side. And fair play to the guy, he's done a good job on that vehicle. It would have been in its day. You can have a look, it belongs to the Sprout and District Sewerage Joint Committee.
Well, as you can see, there are loads and loads and loads of motorcycles. All different shapes, all different sizes, all different CCs. Some people with long hair, some people with short hair, some people with no hair, and some people with no hair. And they keep coming. Right, one man on each one. Right, they're all coming into an order now, so I'll start. Oh, dead on time, James, coming in. Absolutely brilliant. Right. Where are you going, Nigel? You going on the runner? Yeah. Are you going to do a runner now? Oh, right. So then. Oh, I can see when you're running away. What does she looks like catching you up? Suzuki. So this is yours. Well, you usually have a BSA. That's down there. Why don't you join them together and then bring them both in? That's it. One, two. Yep, 1, 2. That's lovely. Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen, that's the motorcycles from the display. Nice to see them, and nice to see them.
It's more difficult to actually pull the lure away in time. So even if the Falcons hit that lure in the first or second pass, it's embarrassing for us, but you've got to let the Falcon have that reward and that lure, because otherwise she thinks, blow that, I'm not going to bother again. You cheat. Now what she's doing at the moment, she's spreading her wings and tail out, mantling, saying, get up, this is my food. They do this what they call a pigeon. Normally they smack it down. Go on then, give it a kick. Don't look at everybody, you've got to concentrate what you're doing. Good boy, come on then. Round. Find the next pan pot. These guys go around the shoals, see what's been washed up. Anything sort of shrimps, crabs, fish, anything like that. They will take on bigger quarry as well. Any sort of seals that's died. And this one is about just under £3 in weight. The females are a pound heavier. They have got huge feet for the size of the bird. Different to a buzzard. Buzzard's got same sort of size body-wise. The feet are absolutely minute compared to his. Come on in, Sam. Down here. Good lad. There we go. So they can get up to all sorts of mischief. Now, they actually have to fend for themselves after 2 months old. Come here. You missed a bit. That's a good boy. Come on then. That's it. One more down here. Good lad. Keep going. Good boy. So the parents actually rear them up until they're 2 months old. They're not fully grown. Hey, up, we've missed a bucket. Stan spotted it. Come on then, turn this way. Blue bucket, give it a kick. That's a good boy. There we are. Right, now these guys also go underground. They dig out puppings, mix the eggs and chicks, and they're rascals. They jump in dustbins, trash the place. Any campsite, that's cheating. You've got to go right through. Straight through the other end. Good lad. Now they're so smart, so you've got to be careful. Keeping pets on the Falkland Islands. These little guys are going to help themselves. Because they're going to fend for themselves, they actually can't fly sufficiently, because they need 3 months to actually have all these tail feathers coming down fully, and also the primary feathers. So most of the time they're running around on the floor, and there could be 30 of these guys all working together. So eggs are pretty when they're babies. Chocolate plumage with gold edges around the feathers. I think they look absolutely stunning when they're babies. But they've got to sort of fight for their share of food. Now they can be a little bit aggressive. Any weak seal pups, go on, do one more. And they'll go and finish it. No, that's cheating. You haven't done anything for that. That's it. Go right through the middle. Go on right through. No. Too busy looking around. Come in here. Through there. All the way through. That's a good boy. Right. Now, just to show you how smart these guys are, do you want to bring his first trick over? You've got food wedged across your mouth now. So I'll take it sideways. That's it. Give it a nudge. And that will spit it back out. No. Right, now this little tube here, we've hidden a tidbit. There's the ball. Just got to reach in to find that tidbit. Found it? And sometimes the meat gets stuck in the ball. And he thinks, I'll blow it, I'll bring the ball anyway. Come on then, Stan, bring it on. Yeah. Stan, go fetch the ball. Good boy. Now if you keep guinea pigs or rabbits on the islands rather, you just got to keep them well locked up, because these guys will go and open up the hutch. Any bolts or anything like that's not a challenge for these guys. You've got to keep it well padlocked. Go on then, one more time. Good boy. Bring it on. Too busy looking around. Come on. Pick the ball up. No, you ain't listen for that. Go on. That's it. Good lad. Don't spit it out. Bring it on. Good boy. There we are. Right, better bring his other challenge over. Not really concentrated there, isn't he? Now, this little device here, it's got a little cup in it. There's a see-through tube. You can't actually get to the piece of meat in that cup. It's actually attached with that bit of cord. You have to run around just have a look, see if there's anything. Just go straight to it. Normally has a crafty look, make sure there is some food in that little cup before he even tries to pull that little cord along. This one actually worked out how to get this reward in a minute and a half. So it's so clever, so bright. That's it. Get his head in that cup. Come on then. Good boy. These are really clever birds to work with. We've got another one that's coming on for next year, a different type of caracara, which is because he's got no power there in his beak. He goes for the softer bits. And any casualty? There we are. Vultures play a very important role in the wild, clean up any sort of carcasses and things like that. It stops diseases spreading. So they've got acids in their stomach that neutralises it, and no rabies or anything like that. Now, unfortunately, in certain countries, especially over in Africa, the poor old vultures are losing numbers rapidly because they've been poisoned. Just about a month ago, just on one carcass alone, there was over 500 vultures killed, and it takes ages for them to recover, because these guys only have one egg a year, and sometimes they miss actually laying, depending on the food source and things like that. And if we put him in, because I want to get the bigger one out, I want to get Sid out. Come here, Baldrick. He's absolutely lovely. He comes everywhere. We can fly him indoors, outdoors, vulture. We can get some distance. Hang on, Sid. He's all excited to go. Come on in, Sid. Good boy. Now he's a big lad. Takes a lot of effort to get airborne. That's it. Good lad. Lovely long neck. Fuzz all the way down his neck, just like the hooded vulture. Just to keep him clean. Now these are the ones that unfortunately are getting poisoned, along with white-headed vultures and white-backed vultures. They take 14 years to mature. They choose a partner like swans. They choose it for life. So if the partner, anything happens to them, then don't always find a new one. Come on, it's good, you can do it. That's a good boy. This one flies at about 15 pounds in weight, so he's a big lump. The female we sometimes bring out as well, Big Lizzie. She's actually 18 pounds in weight as well. Now she's a lot sort of older, more mature. Now Sid is only a youngster. He's coming at 5 years old now. He's more of an irritation to Lizzie because she builds a lovely big nest. When Sid goes in there, he trashes it. He's not interested in breeding at the moment. He just wants to have fun and get up to mischief. Come on then, boy. So we've given Lizzie a bit of time out on her own, and she's made a fantastic nest at the moment. Now, only a couple more weeks of this one out and about, flying at the different shows and events, and then he goes back in. So she's probably dreading it. But eventually, they will actually get it together and produce a nice big egg. So that's the plan anyway. Go in, Sid. So a lot of food they can actually get through, but the only problem is in the wild, they don't know when the next lot of meals coming from. Come on, up you come. Come here. Come round this way again. Up. You've got to balance on my glove. Good boy, that's better. Let me give you a helping hand. Ready, steady, go! That's it. If I can give him a launch, he makes it. There we are. So they basically gorge a lot onto the carcass itself and fill the crop up. And what they do then is squeeze the food down into the stomach, and they can't actually get airborne because they get quite heavy because they fill the crop back up again. So about 2 rations of food. Pop it back in, Stephen. We're trying to fly many birds as possible in our time. Good boy. His name's really Donald. And it sounded like Donald Duck when he was flying around when he was a baby. He used to quack. But now his voice is broken, sounds more like a Canada goose. So, lovely mature plumage now. He's 9 years old. But he's molting like mad. All our birds this year have started molting heavily 2 weeks early. Largest of the sea eagle family, and with this great big heavy beak. It's so he can actually bite through fish skins and heads and everything else. Is he going to do another circuit or going to straight line him? Okay. Come on then, Don. Over here. These guys take fish out of the sea. These are Russian. They do actually migrate. That's it, when the weather gets really bad, right down to China. So they move backwards and forwards up and down the coast. Yep, they move. That's it. Give my ball. A bit more. That's a good boy. Now when you see these guys up close, there's a lot more details. Same as a falcon with that shaped beak. He's got huge, deep beak there, so he can actually bite through those skins. Different to the bald eagles, they have to skin the fish to get at the flesh underneath. Go on in. And underneath his feet there's little hooks and barbs. Even on the tongue and in the roof of his mouth, he can throw the food into his mouth without actually losing the grip. They do scavenge on other carcasses. On YouTube you can see them fighting and squabbling with golden eagles. Goldies are actually not as big as these guys, but their feet are bigger. And they've also got a different attitude for hunting. These are rather scavenge or nick it off somebody else who's done all the hard work. So if they do take fish out to sea, they have to glide over the surface. Now you think of all those seabirds, they've got quite slender wings. They glide over the surface of the water, the wind's blowing quite strong, it actually keeps them airborne. He only can actually go in, dip his toes in the water. He mustn't actually make contact with water at all, because otherwise he get waterlogged. He has to row to the side of the shore and scramble out.
Of the Forestry Commission. After all, the Forestry Commission doesn't belong to us. It belongs to the Crown. So obviously we've got to help look after it, or else there'll be, unfortunately in the Amazon, there'll be lots and lots of fires. Okay then, so I'm going to hand you over to Johnny now, and he'll tell you all about this display.
Hello and welcome along. I hope everybody's enjoying themselves today. Right, we've got grass track cars supplied today from the Gloucester and District Grass Track Club. They're going to just show us a couple of the cars, what they've got. This one, which is going round at the moment, is called a Class 5. Basically, it's converted, it's running with a Vauxhall engine put in there, and it can put up roughly around about 120 brake horse on one of those. So that's what we've got with the first car, and the second one's exactly the same again. It's just slightly different body. Obviously with this one, it's a Metro. Doesn't really look much like a Metro, but if you really get close to it, I suppose it does. And so we've got the Metro, which is going round. There you go. And juniors, they can actually race roughly for the age of 10 up to 16. So basically, with that green one, what's going round, that would be a junior car sold, and so you can actually start off with either a Mini or a Yaris, and that gets you on the foot with what you can race. Like I said, the green one is more of a specialised thing, and you can normally get a lot of these cars, 1200 motorcycle engines, and some of them have actually got two actually fitted in. So that's with the grass track cars. Right, the other one is, my apologies, I was supposed to, this is obviously a Ford Escort. It's basically what would race in a D-type class. It's running, this one's running with, like I said, a red top engine in. You've got the next one, which will be coming in and following it. Right, so this one yet again in Class D again. So you've got all these different classes, and this one's running a 2-litre Pinto engine. So it's another way of getting the power back up with these cars. They run with, like I said, a 2-litre. If you've got a 2-litre Pinto, you change your different diffs on the back, so you're running limited slip diffs, which second-hand you can normally get for about £600. Same as what we do on the old stock car side of things. So, like I said, that's two Class Ds, what we've got. One with a red top, the other one with a Ford Pinto engine in. It looks standard from the outside, but I should imagine it will go really well. Right, the next one, just to confuse you even more, is yet again a Class D. Now, this one here is a Ford Focus ST. It's basically everything what a Ford Focus ST should look like, I suppose. Engine-wise, obviously it's been tuned up. You can put hot cams and different things in them and everything, but it's keeping it to sort of a budget side of things, although the budgets are very high for basically rallying on there, because you actually pay, if you never knew, that you actually pay for forest stage miles. So whatever the rally is, you actually pay a percentage of however long the rally is. So it can work out at like £5 a mile and so it can, if it's in forest side of things, so it does work out fairly expensive. Hence that's why with my own rally cars and that, they stay back under cover, because I prefer to get paid to race. Right, so this one here is a Peugeot, yet again. This one would race in Class C on there. Yet again, front wheel drive this time, so slightly different. Yet again, it all depends on how big your budget is on when you want to go racing. And availability. I know for a fact that when you do rallying, you want to have another shell eyed up, because if you're going to race, there'll be a good time that you're going to, especially around these forests, hit a tree. And that's time to take everything apart and reshell it again. So you still want cars, basically, what are out and available, what you can reshell. Gets a little bit harder if you go into the classics. But I should have asked, actually, on what it costs to go rallying nowadays. Let's go and find out and see. I'll go and speak to one of these drivers here. They've all got their families in there. I don't know whether any of them actually navigate or not. Right, what is the rough cost on going rallying then?
£600 for an entry fee. And then you've got tyres on top, for the fuel, servicing.
Right, so he's saying a couple of £1,000, that's just for doing one rally, that is. So, like I said, £600 per entrance fee with your tyres and everything else. So yes, it gets quite expensive. Right, we've got the old Peugeot here, otherwise known as a Pug, a lot of people used to call them. This one here would be Class C for this one. I think I said the other one was Class C, the other one was actually Class A. So this would be racing in a Class C. Quite a collector's piece, really. I know there's not many Peugeots like that around out there, so I should imagine you'd be able to do possible historic with something like that as well. But it's letting you sort of see the different things, and it's unusual this time that we've got so many rally cars, because in the past we've only ever had one or two, which has turned up here. So, yet again, nice to see the old Peugeot going round. Like I said, there used to be an awesome task back in their day, back in the 80s. Right, now this is the one what everybody associates with a rally car. So this would be, basically this is Class E. Yes, it's your Subaru, the absolute missile. If any of you, I should imagine quite a few of you have always seen the Dean Forest rallies when we used to have them years ago. And by golly, the old Subarus, they certainly fly on there. So there isn't really much I can say about it, just a very nice car. I can't really comment. I've never even been in a Subaru four-wheel drive, so I don't know how well that is. So I like to have my back wheels opposite direction to where the front wheels are.
Just a short announcement to make. There is a black Honda in the car park. Registration number WR.
Well, I'm going around. I'll find out where all these people have come from, how far away they've come from. So where have you come from, sir?
Bristol.
Bristol, right. Okay, and so where are you from? Another one from Bream. Right, okay then.
Hang on, can we just do an announcement, please? Hold on a minute.
Get there first, and we'll request the fire service to attend to release the trapped person. They can be trapped in for two different reasons. Either medically trapped, in the case that they do not need to be moved without medical supervision, or mechanically trapped, in which sometimes the dashboard is down on people, or they're actually mangled in the wreckage. So, all of the crews in the Forest of Dean are on-call firefighters, so they've got other jobs besides. So they all have to leave home, leave their beds, leave their families, and turn out to whatever it is that they're out. This today, as you can see, we've got a car with one person trapped in there. So what they would do, the driver will position the fire truck to the safest place, and you'll see the officer in charge get out of the near side front seat and do a 360. So the OIC's job will be to look around the vehicle, determine what the risks are to the crews and to the people inside, and then he will make his plan. He will take advice from the police and advice from the ambulance crew, so we all work together, all three services, and they'll determine the safest way to get this person out without causing them any more harm. Usually the ambulance crew will treat it, so the officer in charge, you'll see he's looking, he's trying to assess what damage is done and what the casualty might be suffering from. Meanwhile, the crews will be setting up an equipment dump, as we call, so we know what equipment we're going to need on a road traffic collision, so they will be getting that ready. First of all, the OIC will call his troops round and give them their instructions. They will be set their tasks to do. So they'll all report to him first. Usually we'll get 2 fire trucks to a road traffic collision now. So what we have at the moment is 6 people doing probably 8 people's jobs. But as you can appreciate, the concern is of the people inside. So they're setting up the equipment dump. The OIC, the officer in charge, has had a good look round. He's obviously got his plan. We are what I call first person on the scene trained medically. So one of us would typically get into the car and look after the casualty to make sure it doesn't come to any more harm. We can't rewrite the history of anything. What's happened has happened. We're not Time Lord, but what we can do is make the difference to get the casualty to proper medical intervention. And by that means in hospital, okay? So sometimes we have to take our time doing what we're doing because the casualty can't be moved straight away. So the officer in charge will have 2 plans. He will have his rescue plan and he will have an emergency plan. If the paramedics say that the casualty is going what we call big sick, then they will extricate that casualty by any means. But other than that, they'll go with the officer in charge's plan. So what you see now, you see the Lego bricks as it looks like. They're packing those under the car, and that is to stabilise the suspension. That's because the rule of thumb is if the car looks as though it could need towing from the road traffic collision, then there will somewhere in that car be someone with a spinal injury of some sort of another. Obviously, if you go moving about inside or rocking the car too much when we're trying to get them out, you could cause more injury to that person. So we would do it in a calculated, organised way. You will see now, usually the paramedics say what they need in a road traffic collision is more space to work around the casualty to stabilise that person before moving it. So one of the quick ways of doing it is to take the doors off mechanically with spanners. But also there's a lot of glass in the car, and that glass could cause more injury to the casualties and to the fire service personnel if it is not managed properly. So one of the crew will be tasked as glass management, the other will be disconnecting the battery lead, because very often in this case the airbags have not deployed, therefore there is a danger of those going off while we're inside the car, and that can be fatal for any firefighter putting his head in the car. So you'll see them putting a cover around the steering wheel to hold the airbag in place. They've disconnected the battery lead, so that should then isolate that system. Modern cars now have got more airbags in different positions, as in the footwells, as in the side restraint systems. So it gets more and more technical. And with electric cars,
you've got massive high voltage batteries in there as well to deal with. So, as I said, what the crews are doing now, they're going with the OIC, the officer in charge's plan, and he has said that we need to do space creation. So the casualty inside would be now under the charge of the paramedics. And they would be saying to us, we need the roof off, we need the doors off, whatever they want, we will do it. Some of the equipment they use it in is modern now. It's been modernised recently with Gloucestershire Fire and Rescue Service. We've got the latest electric cutting gear, so there's no hoses needed for it. They can just pick it up and go. So these guys, retained firefighters or on-call firefighters, they give up their time every week to train, to keep their skills up together. They have to go to training college to get those skills and to maintain them. Everything we do is exactly the same as our whole-time colleagues, as in Gloucester and Cheltenham, because that is the nearest whole-time pump or fire truck. You've got 6 fire trucks in the forest, 2 at Lydney, 2 at Cinderford, and 2 at Coleford, which is my station, and they're all trained to the same level, and they have to keep those skills maintained. So you'll see they're working now to cut the doors off. Then once they've got the doors off, if it needs more space, they'll decide to take the roof off. All the time the emphasis will be on the casualty, and as they take parts away from the car, the stabilisation blocks will need to be reset, because as you tamper with the vehicle's stabilisation, so it needs to be reset. It takes quite a while to get it there, but like I said, the casualties all the time will be being looked after by the paramedics. We need the police with us to manage traffic. Because ultimately we got guys and girls working in that area. Bearing in mind as well, as I said, we all got other jobs to do beside the fire service. They are recruiting at all of the forest fire stations, looking for new members, and it doesn't matter whether it's female or male. We've got 3 females at Coleford Fire Station who all do the same job. We also do what we call safe and well visits, which you can have free, so we free smoke alarms fitted. If you just ring the Gloss Fire number, so we've seen now we've exposed the casualty quite substantially on this side, but again, more often than not, we need to get rid of the roof. So there will be a sequence when they do. Glass management is very important. To do that, we don't want glass flying all over the place, because we'd end up with us being injured as well as any other people, any casualties. The windscreen is laminated windscreens these days, and they need to be cut. Whereas the old toughened ones used to be shattered, more often than not these are still intact. To remove the roof, we will need to cut through the windscreen with special equipment we have. And then they use the cutting gear to cut, and it will be a sequential cutting operation. So if you look at the car that we're looking at, the front pillars is called the A post. The one behind the driver's head, the B post, the one behind the passenger's head, C, and because it's an estate car, the back one is the D post. It's very scary for the persons trapped in the car. There's a lot of noise going on, hence why one of the firefighters will be sat by the side, reassuring, talking to the casualty, keeping them awake. And explaining what the bangs and the crunches of what's going on. And so what they will do, they will start on the passenger side A post at the front. Once that's through, they'll move to the B post, to the C post, to the D post, and they'll come back up the driver's side going in reverse order, and the last post to be cut will right by the driver, which will be the final A post cut. So the tool they're using now is hydraulically operated but driven by a battery. So we've moved on from dragging hydraulic cables behind us now. Two of the main components is a big spreader, which if the doors are jammed, we can put that in there and it will force the doors off their hinges. It's a multi-tool, it can be used for lifting cars. Part of our equipment is airbags, which we can raise cars up with. Also we've got hydraulic rams, because very often the dashboard front of the bulkhead is down on people's legs, trapping them that way. So they will make several cuts and put the hydraulic equipment in and literally push the car in half. So they're preparing to use the cutters now. They've dealt with most of the glass. The windscreen now is being dealt with, and once that is, they'll start to cut. All the time with a road traffic collision, you have to bear in mind that casualty could be in a life-threatening or definitely life-changing position. So speed is of the essence. There is a thing called the golden hour, which they need to get someone to definitive medical care, and that is in hospital. Response times for fire services retained is usually about 10-15 minutes. So the clock will be ticking to get that casualty out. By now, depending on the injuries, they would have drips in there. The paramedics would have oxygen therapy in there, and they'd be actually working on that person while we were working around them. Also, once you get a road traffic collision and we have to shut roads down for the safety of our crews and the safety of the people trapped, this is where we need the police to control that traffic, to actually close roads and open them. So it can be very frustrating when you're there stuck in a queue of cars for half an hour thinking, oh, I'm late for my business or late for shopping. But what you should think is if that road is closed, it's closed for a reason. And usually that reason is somebody's trapped and not having a good day at all. Okay? So it's worth bearing in mind when you get frustrated in traffic jams that are caused by someone having a smash. Someone's life is probably in danger. And it's worthy of that, it'll calm down. So there we see, they've started cutting now. You can hear the crunching. That thing will cut through posts, through sills of cars, through bulkheads, with ease. Obviously you'll see the OIC's updating his crews all the time, telling them what to do, when to do it. And it has to be done in methodical fashion, otherwise it could go awfully wrong. You'll see that they run a hose out, a high pressure hose with water, just in case the car catches fire again. Obviously the battery is isolated now, so it shouldn't do, but you just don't know. So usually 2 cuts to take the D-post out, because it's the width of it. And as you can see, the equipment he's using, one person is holding on and doing that. But it is quite a heavy bit of kit, and people get tired, and usually they swap over on that. So this is just one of the jobs that firefighters do. We've seen quite a lot of it in the Forest of Dean, but this year, so far in Gloucestershire, well in the Forest of Dean, we've not lost a person yet, and I touch wood on that. Fire service and police are working together in the schools and colleges to try and educate young drivers, young passengers, because they are the most at risk. Most of you will know, if you're from the forest, someone who've lost someone in a road traffic collision, and just how devastating this is for communities. So along with the police, we're working on education, as I said, in the local schools and colleges, trying to get through. There ain't a racetrack out there. So what they're doing while they're cutting the posts, one of the other firefighters will be holding hard protection inside, There would be normally a cordon around this, what we're going on, because that thing does not give up on most metal, so the paint will be flying off the car. So everybody will have eye protection. You'll see them down with their visors down. Also, the people that are dealing with the glass, this crew that are dealing with the glass, they will have a breathing mask on, because when you start to cut glass, you'll get dust coming off it. If you breathe that dust in, that glass is going to go down to your lungs. So you have to be very, very aware about glass management. So they're advancing up now to the front B-post behind the driver's head. Alright, they've got what we call a teardrop board in behind, so that's hard protection, so nothing's going to fly and harm the people that's still inside the car. We're using one of our fire cadets as a casualty today. The fire cadets, I think, are probably about 10 or 12 strong. They're stationed at Cinderford, where they do their training. They carry out training very much similar to what we do, and they are a great bunch of people, and they enjoy what they're doing, and it gives them an insight into what life would be like if they do become full-time firefighters, or if not, on call. And as I said, don't forget, we are recruiting. All 3 forest stations are looking for people. It fits in very well with mums that have got time in the daytime when the children's at school. You know, we've got a lot of mums working for us at the moment. They make really good firefighters too. So they should be taking out the last 8 posts about now. Then they'll have a crew all the way around to lift the roof off, which will then expose the casualty inside and make it easier to extricate them. So where are you? You've got a good view of what's going on there. Whoever drives this back has got a lovely convertible now this afternoon. Just right for the day without the roof on. But not very stable. Most of that car stability is gone now because we've changed the shape of it, as you can see. So now they're going to get the casualty out. What you'll see, they will be putting what we call sharps protection over the pieces of pillars that we've cut. Those edges are razor sharp where the thin metal is. So to save us injury, you'll see them covering it over with the fluorescent protective bags. This is to prevent any further injury. And they should just about already have that casualty out by now, I think. On our fire trucks, we do carry defibrillators, oxygen therapy. We are trained to deliver that, to deal with severe bleeds, tourniquets, things like that. Frankly, it's not that often we go to do that. But it is there if we need it. So what they're doing now, because obviously we haven't got no ambulance or paramedics here, instead of using a spinal board, they will do a makeshift with a section of our ladder covered over with a thick sheet. The idea being, if that person has got spinal injuries, the sooner we get them flat on their back with their spine in line, the better it's going to be for them. So what they would do, they would support the casualty's head and the top half of the body and slide the ladder down underneath the back. They'll drop the seat back and slide the casualty up while someone's holding their head to keep the spine in line. Very important. As I said, that is one of our real big concerns. People are not always cut about, but the fact that whiplash has occurred, then they might have neck injuries. And the higher up the neck injury, the more likely it is to be fatal. So it's very, very important for us to do calculated extrication on that. And what they'll be doing, they'll be sliding the casualty up whilst holding the head in line with the spine. And it'll be done in a way where one person will say pull, and they'll all pull together. You'll have someone in there making sure the feet doesn't get caught around the pedals or under the steering wheel. So all in all, that took about 20 minutes or so, which is about right for an extrication. Obviously it's under control thing at the moment. But this could be in the middle of the night, it could be in the middle of the woods, as cars end up in there. Those of you that live in the forest will see all the flowers around trees, and they're there for a reason, sadly. So there he is, they're together. They're just carefully getting him out while holding the head in line. Fortunately, this is one of our cadets, so we don't want to lose one of those either. They're most valuable to us. But this is just a small part of what today's firefighter has to do, because we do a lot of community work, things like that. There we are, so he's coming out, he looks alright, there don't seem to be any panic. And very often we do get to road traffic collisions, and it's only us and the police there as we're waiting for ambulance. And we really do need them there when we need them with these RTCs. So there we are. They would take that person then to a safe area and await the arrival of the ambulance. But there we are, folks. That's Cinderford's finest. They've done a cracking job here today. Just give them a big hand, please. Remember, they're all volunteers. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you, Roger, for that. And all you boys out there in the middle, obviously it's going to be very warm in those overalls. And all the youngsters that are involved.
He goes, get off.
And now it's convertible. So just well, they could use that sheet to go over the top of it. And there we are, just the job. Anybody want to be interested in the broken convertible? It's got its own air conditioning, there's no doors, no roof, no nothing. So it could well be. Then we got some mini ones as well. Not mini miners, but mini steamers. They've all got their names on as well. So I won't say charging around because they do. A lot of them years and years ago all had jobs to do. We've got the showman's engine at the front, and we've got the in 1917 and purchased new by Evan William Howell of Church Farm, St. Leonard. That was his great-grandfather of the current owners. So this is basically a family-owned engine. And that's giving it a little bit of accreditation. If they ever want to sell it, it'll get a little bit more money because of the history. And it's called Lady Sarah, not Sarah. Registration DJ2451 was to complement existing agricultural equipment used for working on his own farm, and also the agricultural contracting business he ran from Church Farm, and it was sold during the 50s to Mr. David Pritchard of Leicester for the priceless sum of £5, 10 shillings. Well, that's got to be a bargain for that. Yeah, £5, 10 shillings for that. But there's the road roller going round, and this is a 10-ton Evening and Porter, built in 1999, and the engine name is Rosetta. As you can see, very well presented. It's a 10-ton single-cylinder steamroller, and was sold new to Suffolk County Council and road registered in 1922. Rosetta worked around Shrewsbury. Yeah, so I had this before that one. And once again, some people will buy anything. And she named it Rosetta after her mother in 1968. Rosetta was returned again and recovery earned locally by Warren family. The next one is the 1918 Ransom Sims, which is the one in front of me. The Ransom Sims is a small one in the middle with a little trailer on the back.
Obviously it can do, but it's a certain scale. Anyway, that's 1918 Ransom's Simpson Jeffries 7 nautical horsepower traction engine number 27.24, registration E5123. Jessie is the name, and Mr. Jones and daughters from Coleford have bought that, and it was new to passing until 1922. He also owned the sister engine, registered E5122, which was identical except the rear wheels were slightly narrower. Purchased by the current owner in 2009. I noticed he doesn't put the value on it, so it pulls wagons around, the same principle as everything else. Tristan Jones owns this one, new to North Riding County Council, used for hauling roadstone, not to replace by modern lorries, but retained until 1958 as a standby. Since Mr. Crockett's death in 77, the roller was passed to the Gloucestershire Fire and Rescue, where it was discovered after 40 years of use inspection work was required. Repairs were carried out by Fred Watkins Engineering. I suppose that could be another local firm, couldn't it? Fred Watkins. And again, engineering and the roller was then displayed at today's gentlemen and youngsters. And it's nice to see youngsters getting involved with these things, these machines. After all, this is what we're here for, is hoping like the lorries, the cars, the steamers, anything that you've got, or anything that you can make, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to see them all. Tom Bennett go to the entrance gate. Tom Bennett to the entrance gate. Thank you. Right, thank you very much. So, he's not going to run you over now, don't worry about it. If he wanted to, he'd use the car in the middle. But this one's coming into the middle for a reason. So I'm going to have a quick serve of coffee while I trundle around. Gentle giants of speed. foster team in the woods, and they go training. Don't they look nice? Oh. They want to go through a different entrance. That's puffed you out, isn't it? You should go on the back of the trailer and get the dogs to pull you. You're going to do the talking? Okay, you're quite welcome. Here you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Mike, and I'm going to chat to you with the able assistance of a team of 3 Huskies. On the ring is Helen. These 3 Huskies are racing Huskies. Huskies have been in the UK since around about the early 1970s. They are very comfortable in freezing cold conditions, and would you believe they can handle it in the summer as well. In the UK, we tend to race between November to March, in the coldest time of the day, hopefully. We have different classes, and we cover a distance of approximately up to 4 miles each time. The teams of sides consist of 2 Siberian Huskies on a rig, 3, 4s and 6s. As you can see, Helen is what we call scooting behind, and her team is made up of, would you believe, no lead dog. The lead dog Huskies running in all over the place, what's known as a fan hitch. This is normally used on snow and ice, so that if one dog goes down a hole in the snow, it doesn't pull the rest of the team in and they all disappear. Helen's managed to stop the dogs late at night. We used to train a hell of a lot in the Forest of Dean. I believe training is still up and happens over here. We even used to race here, but we haven't had a few races for a few years due to the wild boar and other things. Hopefully in a minute, Helen's partner Chris will bring in what's known as a freight dog. These are slightly slower than a husky, and they do the same distance as we do of the sled dog breed. It's not designed for speed, it's designed for getting around casually. Siberian Huskies are the Ferraris a nice new down every 6 months. There are different events that we do in the UK. As you've seen with the rig, you've seen Chris running behind. The running behind a dog, be that a husky, a malamute, a pointer, a springer, a cocker spaniel, a cockapoo, a labrapoo, you name it, it's called caddy cross. They run around about the same trails as we do, up to about 4 miles, and you run behind your dog. Sounds fun, it's not. Another event we can do in the UK is bike cure. It's where you ride a push bike and you follow behind your dog. It's a mono sport, as we call it, and it's beginning to come quite big in the UK. Another event we do is called scooters. These aren't your kids' scooters that you see at the play park. These are based on 20-inch wheels. And they'll turn into big furry beasts that we all love. You might have noticed that Helen has stopped. She's managed to get in the 3. On that command, the dogs will hoof out the start chute like bats out of hell and try and cover the distance as quick as they can. As we said earlier on, G's for right, pause for left. If you come up behind another team on the trail, you politely shout trail to ask permission to overtake in a gentlemanly fashion. Look to see which teams get a good time. Timing nowadays is coming down even to microchips on the dogs, and we're now getting timing down to thousands of seconds between first, second, third and fourth of race events. After 15 years of doing this, I still haven't got that conversion quite right yet. I have, however, got 2 young ladies changing dog positions on the team to try and give you another demonstration of the dogs going round the ring. Most of us run on totally defined trails. Let's go, guys. Hop up. Good dog. Go on then, G. Those of us that run the rigs and the sleds, we try to use the original mush commands of G and Haw for the turns. A lot of the monosports, which is the bike touring, the canicrossers, the scooters, they use whatever commands they feel work for them. So you might be on a trail and suddenly hear, right.
Yes, hello, yes, I'm a place that's not normally seen here at Gloucestershire. You sometimes see me at Welland. You see me at Gloucestershire, Welland, and a Great Northern Sea Fair. My name's Phil. I'm Captain William Phil. My name's Courtney. Right. When we're talking about track clubs, that one will be a bit later on. Now, I don't really know much about standard tractors. It's great to have the names on the side of them. The first one is white from America. Doing a weird thing with the pulley system on the side there to run the different valves. I think it's early 1940s, something like that. I don't know. They're not going to be stopping in the arena, so they're going to be, because we've got so many tractors to get through. Quite simple, John Deere, 1960s, 1951, diesel John Deere, of course another American company. David Brown, that changed to Case after a while. David Brown originally all white tractors, very tidy, 780 Selectomatic, maybe driving it, very nice one. There's two of these exactly the same over there, they're 1971, 1970, on your end. John Deere, early, I'll say 1980s. John Deere, 89, 90, somewhere like that. That's pretty much both on the tractors. Quite a few bit of a conversion on it. Alright, yeah. 2650. Very reliable tractor, so I believe it's John Deere. It's something I can more or less relate to with the tractor pullers to keep buying them up. Forza Major, diesel, got the original pump. Age of this one, 1950. 52, so one of the early Forza Majors, original 1952 make. The one Graham's Newton's boys, I'd say 1951, somebody said, no, 1952. So, lovely Matty. What year is it? I've got it all the way from Yugoslavia. Oh, blimey, I bet that was a bit fresh. Brilliant, IMC. That's another one, I haven't seen that before. Looking like it after you. International. Oh yeah. With a picture on the front. What year? 70s. Early 70s. The International, and my three brothers, so it's all PB in the family. Yeah, so another one there, same. 254. Little tractor that you'll see later on with the tractor pullers, we have an international tractor puller. This one earlier than that one. Here's the old Matty. I know there's only a Matty version somewhere. Fully restored, looking nice, 1950s. 58, yeah, 1958. Beautifully restored. All the tickets and things are still available off the shelf. Available from Jason Bakers over in the corner there, just past that. Automated diesel, got the cargo engine. Yeah. Like that. Could become a puller, you never know, very easily. Bigger pump on that, depending on that one. This one, David Brown, say early David Brown. Still going strong before he went to one. Another one as well. Got a lovely sound to that one. Another David Brown, quite simply. Oh, here's one that loves to pop a wheelie. It's Mr. Wheelie Truck himself. Ford 4000 conversion with the track. Multiple versions going all over the ideal for, as I say, looks like street stuff, pulling and lock pulling and things like that. Nice little trick he does, drop low in the bed on the front there and get the old front wheel up. Quite pretty. David Brown, 990. I do know somebody that's got one of these that's turned one into a tractor puller. Performing in a tractor, performing in fields. They have a smaller turning circle, you could happily plough a little field with no problem at all about the usability. Going by the beer badge on the front, I call it the beer badge, it looks like the four rings that hold the four tracks together. Watson with the 13 engine, that one. It's got a lovely simple Cinderford 4000. Oh, here we go. Lovely restored. Still needs a bit of paint on it, but up there again, running well. 4000. This one, slightly modified engine, that one. Cummins, very ideal for the tiny little jobs like doing in your back garden and things like that. I do like the information on the front. Yes, it's a nice 3-cylinder diesel used for rotor racing. So yes, it's the one up from the film rotor racing, got the drive on it. And a 4-wheel drive unit. Now I do know somebody that's got a different version of the 4-wheel. Here's the other 780 Selectomatic, David Brown. The face on the 1970s, 1971. There earlier, the lovely David Brown, beautifully restored in our film sport. You see some tractors, they spend hours restoring them, and I really appreciate it when they do. They make a lovely job of them. It's an early David Brown. And then they just go and sit in a barn and do nothing. Some of these tractors do like donate on the weekend to the playing matches, where you win a few trophies and bits of pieces. And we do have a couple that come in and have a bit of a guest spot on some of the trophies. Atlas Chambers. Very popular design in America. You see the John Deere being the old look-alike, the three-wheelers. Just like those are four-wheelers, but there again, that's for turnability, manoeuvring, performance, getting around difficult situations with unique type safety. So in America, that's like beauty, isn't it? What safety they have. Little David Brown 1190. This one moves, kills the rest of the bike nowadays. Ideal registration number on that one. Here we go. 1955. Yeah. Hello. It's all original, yeah, BMC engine. And got the original tyres on it. I think it's long and restored. It's going to work. It doesn't need to be shining. Still really David Brown. Of course, you can see the case badge on the side, so it's on that era where David Brown was going into being more case tractors. That's a fair length for that one. Very nice, very length. Of course, tractors, very narrow. I think that one used to be worked for orchard work. Through the trees, working through the grapevines and different pieces like that one. Matching 130. 13 engine in that one. It's great that it's got a badge beside the engine. Automatic diesel. Engine, 50 on the side. 55. 55, got a 54. 55. And a Fortune tank start. Early got foot there at the top there. Fortune back in, totally restored tractors. Parts are available if they can get them quick enough. So the tractor boys, tractor pullers, if they do seem to have a few breaks, people along the line, do try to nab them first. So there's a bit of a competition about getting stuff, but if you require any parts for your tractor that you're storing, do go and see Christine and Tim over at JC Bakers and Daughters, over in the corner there. They've got the green tractors. Up over a beautiful BMC, lovely restored, even with the grip hopper at the back. Yes, I am looking for a Ferguson with the registration number RAC18. Oh, this one's still a gold finger, it's Gold Fergie. Gold Fergie is a man with a gold gearbox. And another lock puller.
big winch on the back, put the PTO in, put the legs down on the back her into the ground so she can bed in and start pulling the tree stumps to the rock through the forest. And it was so wet, he pulled the sledge in onto the field and it sunk about 3 foot in the ground. We couldn't move it with anything. Luckily, somebody brought a tractor similar to that with a winch on the back, and we had a good half a day winching it out across the field back out onto the road. And so you drop them spikes, ground anchors, reverse back so they dig into the ground, and then you can winch things forward. Hello! This one, Detroit diesel engine. It's on the quiet mode at the moment. When you take that top exhaust off, a bit louder. Yes, he brought it along to Markle. If you haven't been, it's the penultimate weekend in July. If you haven't been to that show, it's a nice one, and we do tractor pulling there. And he brought it out this year and put it on the track, and we do quite impressive tractor pulling. Gary, so on this thing, you got another Massey. An impressive load of tractors. Oh, he makes me chuckle all the time. He said he asked us ages ago if you want to have a go, and we got it very easy for me to find out what it is. It's the Overman motor car. The engine just by the front wheel. Simple controls. Nice little horn on the front. Yeah, give it on honk on the horn. I love them old horns. They're brilliant. They're good. Massey, 168. That's a fair old machine compared to some. Nice and tidy. Got the full working arms on the front. Yeah, that's a fair bit of kit. Going down, we've got the 148, so dropping down, and there's another even bigger one from the 168, we've got the 188. They're all going up and down in three, and then we're back down to the 130. These are lovely, been completely restored to original spec. Even the cabs with the canvas top. So everything's possible nowadays. It's about another pull over. Bought some Power Major. Look at the size of that engine in there. You put a box pump on the side there and we get it out on the tractor pull it. So I can sit to the end there and pull the stage up as sweet as a nut. And that's got his mate. And then we're back with the David Brown. Health and safety, one person on the tractor. I know we got a dog on there, but this one's quite a novel one. It's like it's a super extra. We've got the Ford 5000 one, that's the cut down version. Falconry Major. All lovingly restored, a lot of money spent. David Brown, all the stickers and details are now will be regenerated. Oh, I guess that, you're right. Yeah, the gentleman there on that David Brown was having a nice little natter over by the caravan there. So, I'm wondering if have we had all the standard tractors, and then we'll start playing with the big boys. Here's another 1952 Falconry Major. I don't know which bits are the original on it, but it's got just the back end. Just the back end, but underneath that bonnet is a Cummins. Hang on. It's a Cargo 360T engine. Slight improvements will be done next year. He's going to buy a bigger Bosch pump on it and just sort out that bit that he sat on. But that's Graham. He's the organiser and he's the organiser and section leader of the Stormforce tractor pulling at Markle. So that's the penultimate weekend in July.
Behind that we have Big Girl. Now he can't hear the word I'm saying. And so we've got an international tractor, but underneath that bonnet is a Detroit diesel. Probably health warning to all the animals and bits and pieces and things like that. These are quite loud. And they do, especially Big Girl. The Detroit diesel does scream, so watch out for little ones and the ears on the animals that they do go. What have we got this? Five fire, Perkins V8, Stand here, based on the Scania. Sunday tractor with a V8 Scania, that's Mark. Darren on the Forest Thunder. That used to be an Ivoco tractor unit. Driving truck down, engine. We've got the funny one with the name, it's Sprocket. That's the Cummins 6cc. Highly modified with extra big turbo. Charlie on one that's got the Volvo engine. Yes, Fortune back end, Volvo engine. Slightly modified. It's got the tripod beside at the moment, for some reason. Running wild. Got a cargo engine in that one. Slightly modified by the paintwork a couple of years ago for a bit of fun. The Ginger Ninja. Got a cargo engine. Really modified, and the lovely original massive version of the 35. The one here with the umbrella does the most work. That one is the grader. Normally grades the track out between each pull. So this four-wheel workhorse works about 5 times as hard as the other one, even a bit more. They're all modified lorry engines, different things are put into the track pulley. Track into the track puller. Now I will say these are going to be pretty loud, especially with Big Girls, so please cover your ears and stuff like that, as I'm going to say. Now I'm going to ask for a volunteer. How are we going to volunteer? And I'm not going to pick on the kid, I'm going to pick on this young lady here with the purple, with the pink thing. Should I use you as a volunteer? No, just sit still. Everybody, watch this lady, she's going to put her hand up and then you're going to do the rev up, okay? So when you put your arm up, they're going to rev the engine for you. So watch this lady, please watch this lady, she's going to put the engine up. So in your own time, when you're ready. Facebook, probably to be tractor pulling. On there will be details of where they pull. As I say, they have their own sled. Oh, we got they have their own sled called Storm Force. So they are a unit that goes round and sorts themselves out. If you happen to go to Much Sparkle next year, I do apologise that I will be doing the commentary there. I will have a lot more information on which tractors there and then. Also, a few of them do pull at Welland. The one we show getting bigger and bigger. And a couple of them do go down to Dorset as well. I apologise, I'll be doing the commentary at Welland and at Dorset. So do be careful, make way for the track pulling. And I think we'll be ready next for the start. So I think we're ahead of time now. We'll super over, have a closer look. You do say don't touch, they're a bit oily and a bit dirty. monkeys being dragged behind.
They would take it. They would build hundreds of them this afternoon. The Ford Granada. Lovely and comfortable, used by the police. Here we go, over to the Allegro Rovers. And some people belong to a society, or like us. I'm a member of this club, and I bring my car here. So which side have I got to go to? Who's the owner? I thought it would be somehow. This is for the power ladies. Right. How long have you owned this? 5 years. So, oh, stop parts. Right, so I suppose it cruises along about 60. Nice and jolly, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Pay for the
Lovely.
Australian
And
one.
again, what's the mileage on?
Limb?
65,000, so for this age, that's quite good. Yeah, right, lovely. It was obviously painted in this colour. You've been very, very lucky, haven't you? To get something like this and you didn't have to do much work to. No, that's Grandad as well, is it? And it's an automatic. Is that right? So do you like going out with your Grandad in this car? I bet you enjoy it, don't you? So what's the year on it? 19 G-Red. So it's a
1500. I said
1989. So there we are. And it's a lovely metallic bronze. And you've got to remember that metallic bronze is a hard colour. My goodness. Full service history. Oh, Lando Griffiths in drive look. Right, and he was a rogue. Unfortunately, he's dead now, and his son's dead. Yeah, and they've been taken over by Caldecott. Yeah, so, yeah, we used to have some fun and games down there. What do you mean? That way. You've been to so many shows that belong to this club. It's brilliant. And now I'm getting the drift that way. Right. Okay then. 1964, right? And have you been all over Europe? That's brilliant. Have you? All over the deal to get it in. You went straight in, did it? You have to have adapter plate, which most vehicles do when they actually do it. But anyway, that's brilliant. Brilliant. And you're from? So very nice motor, very nice. So you live next door or near to your father? Little Dean? Right, near that pub with the gypsy. Should say that, but near the bottom there. Anyway, brilliant. Brilliant.
It's a beautiful thing, it's a city. Living the city, just you and me, all the dreams that no one has. I show you the scene, it's a treacherous thing.